Now if you're going to replace this, don't make the assumption that all of these are created equal in length. This pipe here, it makes a difference. You see the old one? Here's the same height. See how much height difference there is? Right there. Good. Right like that. The new one is a little bit higher, so I'm going to mark that and I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to cut this new one off because that has a definite reason on the height of the water that goes in here. So I'm going to go ahead and match up. So tip for you, if you got an old one, you might want to either, you don't necessarily have to take that to the store, but you want to measure it. And then when you get your new one, hold it up against it, line it all up, and look at it and see whether or not you need to cut it. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and cut the new one to match the old one. Now, would it work? It probably would work, you know, if you didn't cut this at all. But usually, common practice has it that when you fill the water up in the tank, you want the water down about 1 inch from the top of this pipe here, okay? And in this case, I would be up way higher than that. So then I'd always have to remember, because I don't need any more extra water. Getting up higher, it might damage something inside. Plus, I don't need that much more water in this tank to flush this toilet, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and chop that off. Since I'm talking about this tank, this is a fairly old style tank and it holds a lot of water. So, you know, if you ever have a problem with your toilet, now is the time you might want to upgrade your toilet to an energy saving water miser toilet. It doesn't take as much water to flush the toilet. So you might want to take a look at that, especially if you're on a water meter. Got this back in here now. Now I can line that up where I want it. Probably about like that. And I guess I can put a little pencil mark here. And then one up there, just for a point of reference. You know, so that when I stop that, if I loosen it over or whatever, I can always line that up and hold that right like that, okay? Just be my little guide. Try to position that, get my nut on there. The nut should go on nice and easy. You don't want to start cross-threading it. You can't get it in that nice and easy. You better start over. Okay, I can loosen that up just a little bit. Line that over. I want to kind of see if I need to position that. There's a definite hole there, and the gasket should be in there. You know, see there's a little bit of play. I want to just kind of try to even out the play a little bit and tighten the nut down a little by hand. Okay. Just double check in here, that looks fine. Looks good. Now this is the part, I want to get my channel locks lined up right, and that's a good one right there because I can grab it with my hands. I don't want to get it, you know, like there, because this is too far apart for my hands. So that's why I like this size channel lock wrench. There's probably three different sizes. This is like a medium. Okay. And with the plastic nut, you see what I mean? I can get that on there nice and flat that way, and I can hold it here, and I can look on that and see if that moves. And if it does, I can see exactly where that line is. Whereas before, that other one, I was having to go like that, and I kept sliding off. That's why I feel way more comfortable with this setup rather than the other one. You remember the other setup I was talking about? This one right here. You can see where there's a triangle layout for that. And that would have went on first, then the nut around there with the bushing. Okay? But it's just hard to get your wrench in there. You see what I mean? Just real difficult. I don't know why somebody would want to use that style. Here was something funny at one of the stores that I went to. The salesperson, oh no, you can't change it. You've got to use this system right here. It's specifically set up for this type of toilet, blah blah blah. You know, that's all fine and dandy, but we're doing it a different way because we can. Trick here is just not to over tighten the nut. I mean, if we were to break this nut, I've got an extra one here, don't I? You know, but I gotta get this on there snug. Remember before I was like that, and I could just loosen it up by hand, and that's why right here it gives me stability. I can hang on to this tight and keep snugging it down a little bit. Oh, that's nice. And I'm just tightening up. Can you imagine that rubber gasket on the inside just compressing just a little bit? That baby, hey, that's not going to leak this time. I want to look on that. My pencil line was there. There's my pencil line there. For good measure, I'm just going to check that out. I've got it at a good angle, so I can still get a screwdriver in there. If I ever have to hold down these bolts here that are coming through, if this is spinning when I tighten it up, I can put a screwdriver, I can reach down into the toilet and put a screwdriver on there. Or later on, 5 years down the road, let's say I want to loosen up the nut from outside. Sometimes they might want to make your whole bolt spin. So you got to reach down in the toilet with a big screwdriver, standard slotted screwdriver, put that in there and just kind of hold on to that. Then you can take a small wrench down here and loosen up the bolt, the nut, you know? So that's why I wanted to keep this tree out of the way of that back bolt. I've only got that tilted at an angle because this is a 3-bolt setup. Like I said before, most toilets have a 2-bolt setup, so I could have ran that straight in the back there, or I still could have tilted at a slight angle. Whatever. I got that nut on there pretty snug, but I'm just going to check it just to see if I can get it just a hair more. Ooh, a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I want to go any further than that. Last thing I want to do is crack these threads. I mean, I could really wrench down on this and get it some more, but I think that's pretty good. I could have a chance to crack this and break this nut off. And if that's the only nut you have, you don't want to do that. Chances are, if you're putting on a new one here, though, you're going to have the old nut. You know, so You see how hard I've got this, you know? I mean, that's pretty good. I feel way more comfortable doing it this way than this way. I never could have gotten that nut tight. Okay? Channel wrench, channel lock wrench to the rescue.